Today is a Galactic Activation Portal Day. It's actually the last one of this month. We don't have, well, this is the last one, but even next month, we don't have a lot of them. We only had 2 of them this month, so we're going to go into using these energies, which I've been posting a lot about today, and we are going to do Conscious Spirit Oracle deck today. Just give me 1 minute while I'm finding this video and getting it set up and shared out. If you're just finding me, take a second to say hi. Go ahead and connect with the energies. Make sure you're leaving a comment if you're trying to get cards and things like that. Make sure you're also hitting the share button. That helps you to get more cards and things like that. So take a moment to say hi. The energies are about to, they are quite high, but they're about to go quite high over, we'll say, the next day or so as we're integrating some of these energies kind of coming into the planet during this time. They are taking us into, or this is the new frequency that we're integrating. And this shift, the past week or so especially, we've been really anchoring this down on the physical level so we can kind of hold more of this light too. So you might be kind of feeling it on whatever level. All right, make sure you guys have shared this out. I'll let you share it out so we can get started too, because it's always hard for me to share it out while I'm live. So make sure you guys are sharing this out too. We'll get started. All right, so Galactic Activation Portal Day, this is my jam. We receive a lot of galactic energies and a lot of high frequency light codes. This shift especially, we're integrating a lot. We talked about on the physical level, but we're integrating a lot on the light body level. It's bringing a lot of activations that we're going through right now. These energies right now are helping us to anchor into higher timelines, higher frequencies. We talked about that, but also higher timelines. So we've been going through a lot. This month brought some, well, the past couple months, eclipses and things like that. We're actually integrating into a higher timeline right now, and you guys might be feeling that. And sometimes when we go through some of these bigger timeline jumps in our life, you guys might be feeling, maybe the past couple of days, hopefully not today, you might be feeling a little tired, lethargic, sluggish, right? Or feeling like a little, I don't want to say stress, like it's like you, I said this in my last video, it's like you're on this timeline and you jump up to another one. It's like you start at the bottom of the next timeline. Like it can bring up like work to do, whatever it is. Closing out old timelines is a big theme right now, jumping to higher ones. So you might feel from this space that you're wanting more from life, or like you're kind of longing for whatever it is you desire or you want. And this is how we create in these higher energies too. So you can expect that you're getting more clarity right now as to where you want to be. And then if it's like something like that, like a place you want to be, something you're manifesting, you're going to get there, and that the universe is showing you so that you can kind of take the necessary steps. So sometimes we get a lot of clarity in these spaces, like all portals are open, you're able to connect with interdimensional beings, your guides, the galactics. You might be getting a lot of clarity right now as to what steps to be taking moving forward. And a lot of what we're doing on the planet during this time is awakening and healing ourselves and clearing karma and working through negative limiting beliefs and things like that. So sometimes some of that work might be coming up for you depending on where you're at, kind of going on, and letting go of heavy energies and things like that too. I know a lot of people had a heavier time going through that moon energy portal and things like that, but you should be starting to feel better when these galactic energies come in. They bring a lot of light codes and good things that kind of switch things on for you and help you on many different levels. So I always love the galactic energies, but it depends on how you're also kind of handling some of these energy shifts. Expect we're going into a big wave right now. It just hit us like a couple hours ago, right? It's coming in, and I was describing it like having to surf actual waves, which I've never surfed, so I'm not very good at it, obviously. And it's a little bit like how I picture surfing and riding these energy waves, because sometimes I get knocked over, and I'm pretty good with energy, right? And if I don't hit these waves just right, sometimes it can feel like it's literally like I'm getting knocked over like the surfer guy, right? And all in the ocean and things like that. So here we go, we're going up, we're riding another wave. They've been coming in for days anyways. We throw this into the mix. So you might feel that as we're going up in frequency, which we are over the next day or so, and kind of riding this energy wave, things may be rising to the surface that need to be transmuted or need to be healed, or you might be getting things done or getting big bursts of energy. Some of you guys might be kind of dead, not gonna lie, and just Netflix and chill, hang out, ground, right? So grounding connecting with nature, getting outside, letting the sun hit you if you're in that kind of vibe right now, whatever it is will help you in integrating these energies. When we ground, it helps us to anchor the energies on the physical, and when we connect with the sun, it helps us on the cellular level of some of the changes that we're going through. And you got to really honor your body and how you feel, because you know what? You're finding your own flow, and I think this can really help you. It's not about what everyone else is doing, it's just your own soul's flow that you're going through and navigating. So listen to your body. Needing rest, take it. Feeling zoomed up, feeling motivated, good. Get things done, get creative, whatever it is, or take care of things. So it just kind of depends on you, where you're at, your frequency, and how you're handling these energies, but expect a lot of upgrades and a lot of light body activation and DNA activations right now. Okay, it's a little late in the day. I was gonna do this video anyway, but we're gonna do some cards. I brought Conscious Spirit Oracle cards. Was dying to do this video anyway, so it's hard for me to find time sometimes to do these live. So I'm always here though if you need me. That's why sometimes I don't have the time for the videos anymore. sparksofdivinelighthealing.com. I am an energy healer. I help you with whatever's going on energy level, but also in your life. So I do energy healing sessions, clearings, activations. I do psychic and medium readings, and I teach tons of classes like Reiki and Sikhem. So I have all sorts of services to help you through your spiritual awakening and ascension process. Doesn't matter what's coming up in your life or even energetically, I help you with that. If you're needing me, you book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. If you're needing a phone call under readings or energy healings, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for too. Trying to get you more into the healing, especially I see a lot of people that were dealing with a lot of heavy energy, just needing to clear your energy, just needing to heal things and release that energy will help you a ton. So if you're needing me, book me on my website. We're gonna do some cards though. That's where you guys can find me. I've also pinned, I have a ton of, I like to think, I say a ton, but probably not. I have a ton of healings up for today. They're pinned on my video though. I take a lot of time to post them on social media, but you can do anything in my shop. I was gonna tear it apart again the other day, but I left it for a minute. So if it's in my shop, you can still do it. It's just current energies of what we're going through. I have so many good healings to help you with what we're going through collectively within the energies or what may be coming up for you during this time. So anything in my shop, you can do it all the time anyways. I'm really good about flipping it over too. I've been kind of getting on the ball with that. So I have today's healings and activations pinned on my video, but you can find them in my shop, okay? So you can do any of that. My book links are on here too. I know it's something I need to get that latest book up, but I haven't, but I'm gonna get it up. I'm going over to the UK in 3 weeks. And then after I'll try to get that up, but my book links are on my video right now. So if you're looking for stuff to read or whatever, I think it'll really help you with putting some of the pieces together that we're healing during this time. Okay, so we're doing cards. Make sure you guys have shared this out. If you're able to send PayPal donations or sign up and be a supporter or send stars, please do. It helps to keep this page going. So it's an awesome way you guys can give something back. If you're getting something out of this page, sending stars, you're gonna get a psychic shout out. Otherwise, it's completely random, but you guys can send them just because, right? I always encourage it. If you're able to send stars, please do. It helps a ton with what I'm trying to do on these videos. So, let's see. Joanne, thank you. Okay, we're gonna do Forest Frolic Maiden. I acknowledge my inner child and open my heart to the joy that she brings. And I'm gonna probably say this, I shouldn't share personal stuff. I saw, I'll put it here, one of my siblings' kid, and they were all dressed up with the magic and the Harry Potter outfit. And I made a comment like, I hope you're teaching them magic. And they said, no, they don't know anything about that. But the kid's real interested. And I was thinking, in my thoughts, we actually had a quite magical childhood. Children, right? Okay, so when you were a kid, I hope you had a magical childhood. And this could have just been when the adults weren't around and you were running around and playing, I hope, make-believe, because I believe that we live also as adults in a world of imagination and the more creative that we can be. And so childhood can kind of prep us to using our imagination, because we have to be able to do that to manifest and create reality, and we're doing that anyways. And so sometimes we have to go back to that childhood space, because as a kid, I hope all kids believe in magic. They know it's real. They can feel it, they sense it, they talk to fairies and other beings and have dreams, and they're usually very, very connected, especially the smaller that they are. But sometimes we're adulting and we tend to lose our magic. right? Muggle planet, right? All of this stuff. So as we go through life, sometimes we can, and I feel the more that we disconnect from our childhood aspects, we tend to lose our joy because it's connected with the solar plexus and things like that. We get real grumpy, you know, we're adults, leave us alone. Things like that. So the more that we can stay connected with our inner child, I feel it keeps you, I could say looking, but acting younger longer and staying alive longer, right? And connected to these pieces that are very important, that can make us feel more happy, inspired, and even bring us joy. But I was explaining on a session I just did that a lot of our wounds actually come from childhood. And a lot of the healing that we're doing during this time is things we might have picked up in our programming in childhood, or even from the family line and things like that. Like, I didn't realize this till a lot later in my life. A lot of my own karmic journey went further back intergenerationally to little pieces of the family line and things, and I had no idea, right? But I took it into myself. So it could be some of the karmic pieces that we're healing from, or karmic clearing, or patterns and things like that. We see that in our relationships. A lot of it goes back down to inner child and how we connect and how we're wired up, or what we're healing and things like that too. So inner child healing is so crucial for releasing deeper rooted blocks that we may still be struggling with in adulthood, but especially for relationship healing too, because sometimes we didn't get wired up in the healthiest ways, and then we have relationship problems and how we relate and interact and stuff like that too. And so when we go back and heal our inner child, very, very, very powerful, especially if there's still trauma there, or we've disconnected from some of these aspects, or become fragmented, or we have blocks in some of these areas, or things that we've picked up too. And also it can make us a lot happier too, when you're making space for that too, in whatever way. So we see a lot of people within the awakening and within the ascension bringing back online creative gifts that might be connected to your childhood. Because when you are like a 5-year-old, like, there's no one's gonna tell you who you are. You're Superman with Batman, right? You're like in your Batman costume, right? You're Batman, and you know it, and you got all that confidence, right? Of like a 5-year-old in a Batman superhero costume and things like that. But sometimes we can lose our confidence and things through our life experiences. So actually, when we heal our solar plexus, because it's a message about the solar plexus, we can reconnect with these aspects, but also we can heal like confidence issues, insecurities that can affect our relationships and how we connect with other people. And then also just integrating that aspect into ourselves. So we see a lot of people tapping into these inner child aspects and getting more creative and channeling, you know, music, poetry, art, whatever it is. And that we can really use these energies in a creative way too. So sometimes when we heal our inner child, it can really help us with healthier connection, but also bringing online very creative aspects and things like that too. I'm not going to go too into this, but when we purge out the solar plexus, we tend to let go of repressed negative emotions in the body and traumas. We tap into our creative gifts. We tap into our spiritual gifts. We become more clear or more aligned, or, you know, we get more clarity from our spirit guides or angels or whatever it is too. So some of this work that we're doing, because I see nothing but a huge purge happening across the planet right now, but a lot of people don't know that, and they're dealing with heavy emotions and energies and things in their life coming up. And I just feel it's the ascension and the awakening, and we're kind of being guided to do this work like never before. But as this stuff is coming up, the more that we are clearing our energy and healing our energy, we make space for our gifts and things that are kind of underneath it. So, you know, healing your solar plexus, many, many benefits. This could be inner child healing, or just connecting more with your inner child. Pam. Balance. I understand and embrace the opposing forces in life and bring about balance. And I love this because some of our, we could say connections, but some of our experiences in life are here to help us with healing things. So I always make a joke, just a good example though, like if you love chocolate cupcakes, you're gonna get a partner who hates chocolate and loves vanilla. And yeah, I know, they're gonna be bringing home vanilla every night. You like, try the vanilla. Like, I know, because sometimes we can get a little too, and I see that with people's beliefs. Like, I literally see people that are so, I don't want to say programmed, so in their beliefs. If someone else isn't believing the same things or doesn't have the same ideas, they're like quick to get rid of people. Like, we can see that with a lot of things. So there's a lot of things that create divide around here. And then in order to come back to this space of oneness, we have to kind of heal things within ourselves and become a little more balanced. And so we tend to attract, I just had a whole conversation about relationships, about attracting the opposite. And we can see this in connections and the polarity and duality and things like that, and the things that we're healing. And that's what karma teaches us, how to balance things within ourselves, whatever lessons that we're going through, and to integrate and like bring things in. So it depends in what way too. But this is an energy balancing and getting more aligned. These galactic activation portal days energies that we're in today are all about shifting into a higher soul resonance and soul alignment with yourself, because when we're balanced in ourselves, you know, we're showing up better within our energy and things like that too. So a lot of this work that we're doing is helping us to become more balanced. When we heal our karmic past, we're doing just that. We're releasing it and opening up for more energy balance too. So doing things that are spiritual can get us into energetic alignment, that can shift our frequency and continue to raise our frequency, is very important, necessary work for us to navigate some of the ascension shifts too. And we're learning that a lot of these shifts collectively the past couple of years have been helping us to get in a better energetic balance with ourselves and those in relationships within their relationships too. We've seen a lot of that too. Now we're in Aries season, so it's all about your connection with yourself right now. And a lot of people don't like that. Like, a lot of this work is done within you, so that you feel good, that you're aligned, you're healed, you're balanced in whatever way. So the best way to get into balance is to suss out or determine, are there imbalances going on energetically? Working with a good healer will help you that, if it's something on the energy level, or it could be something in your life. Sometimes things are out of balance to get your attention, and letting us know things are no longer working or resonating too, right? Like things get dramatic usually, like if they're not great for us or whatever it is. So we're looking for that level of like peace, alignment, and balance during this time like never before, especially with things kind of unfolding on the bigger level collectively. And so this is about ways that you can shift into or come into a more aligned harmony or balance with yourself. Let's do Tatiana Klein, happy 33rd birthday. I'm reading this. Okay. Happy birthday. If you guys need one-on-one readings, this is what I do a lot lately, right? With the healings and readings. You can always find one at my site. We can go into whatever's going on too, but happy birthday. Mine's coming up in 3 weeks. I'm just enjoying the last tail end of this year, right? Okay, happy birthday, Aries season. It's the best time for a birthday, new beginning kind of energy too. So just letting that inspire you. How funny you get the fire card too. Fire elemental, I love to get into the astrology makeup and what makes us tick and archetypes and things like that. They can help guide us through life. So tapping into that fire energy, which is a purifier, we know that. But it also can be a very lit up, exciting energy and things like that too. I ignite the fire within me that connects me to the divine. And so I was talking about, and this is just funny because they were a fire sign in a call about an hour ago. I said the problem with being a fire sign, and this goes with dating any elements, is that you guys are not very compatible with water, but it's funny, you guys will draw your opposites that you need to balance, right? But I said water will probably tend to put your fire out, and fire is your spark, by the way. It's your zest for life. It's what keeps you excited and supercharged up. It's a little bit like your spiritual battery. Like you literally have a actual fire in your heart chakra, and this is your spark of divinity. You have a piece of God in you. You have a spark of the design in you, and little things can put our fire out. We all have that, not just fire signs. And it's like a little bit like your cell phone battery. You're running low on charge, right? And you have enough stuff kind of thrown at you and the energies get heavy. It's like your spark goes, and then we get into survival mode and you're just going through the motions but not very happy, right? So we want to stay excited and lit up. And this is a genuine thing. We can't fake energy and we can't fake frequency, as we're going to see anymore, right? And so it's about literally getting excited. And this is why I try to teach you this stuff that helps me, because I'm also here on earth trying to navigate all of this, right? And I've just learned some techniques that will help. So some of those techniques that I like to do with you guys is to stay genuinely excited about anything, a project, a goal, a relationship, whatever it is in your life, setting small goals for yourself. This is how we can get healthy brain chemistry going too, right? What manifesting a list, something you're working on, a goal, a job, whatever it is, a blueprint for your life, 5D manifestation, bringing that all to earth. And this can take work on yourself and your energy, but also work on your manifestations. And someone put a comment on one of my posts. I post CME coming into the earth, and someone said, should we be afraid? No, that's everything that we are here to get out of fear-based narratives, thoughts, victim consciousness, all this stuff. Actually, when these high frequency energies are coming in like today, you guys should just get a vision in your head, daydreaming, like you're thinking all day, get a vision in your head of what you're manifesting. It could be anything. And so it's like literally just thinking about that. And these energies are huge and they are powerful. And there's huge bursts of energy coming into the planet that are fueling up these dreams, goals, manifestations. And I know this is a little bit like riding a bike and we got to get used to it, but you'll pick up momentum with it. So we should be actually focused today, like huge healing and manifestation day. Energies might be coming up if there's something that needs to come up, but it's also a space to be really getting passionate and excited about the life that you're living. And if you're not excited about it, that can be normal, making some shifts so you can get excited about it. And these might be gradual shifts or dramatic shifts, but really, really working towards consciously bringing your 5D vision of reality and dream life into reality. And it could be little things, it could be anything like that will keep you charged up and excited. And when you stay focused on your dreams, goals, and manifestations, it's going to bring a lot of positive energy into your life, and you're going to have something to look forward to and work towards too, to bring these goals into reality too. So Aries is a lot of energy. I assume this is a woman, but I didn't see. Okay, especially that feminine energy can be, I hate to say this, I'm going to say it can be actually quite destructive when not focused in a healthy way. And I know tear down entire realities and timelines, but in reality, when you get into it, when you shift into a healthier feminine energy, it's a creative energy and it's meant to be fun. And you might not always feel like that. Like this is a fun place. It's very Lyran energy and it's very fun and like, you know, making the best out of your life here on earth and making it more fun and exciting or whatever you have to do to really embody that fire energy. And when we deal with Aries energy, it's complete leadership energy. And a lot of you guys aren't going to like that word. You guys are way showers. It's like starseed energy. It's way shower energy. And whether you're having to follow your own guidance and make your own path in life, or even stepping into that role, because once you've done that work, some of you guys are getting taught and, you know, into those roles too as starseeds about what you're doing here within this awakening too. So it's major awakening energy, shifting into new timeline, new paradigm energy, and kind of embodying that divine feminine spark, right? We could look at Aries as like, you're like the carrying the lantern, and that's some people are in darker times. I bet a lot of people in these energies we're going to see might even be experiencing dark night of the soul, depressed, a little lethargic, navigating awakening and not really knowing what's going on in their life, and they're just no longer resonating with the 3D earth, and it's absolutely falling in and, you know, being guided towards or shifting into the 5D new earth, which is a higher state of consciousness. So you could look at, I'm getting shown, because I get shown the pictures, I'm getting shown the symbolism of like the woman carrying the lantern, like becoming the light worker, right? Becoming the light worker, and you're carrying that lantern, and maybe if some people are kind of sitting in the dark, it could re-spark their inner flame, right? And so that's what light workers do, right? Some people might be a little lost or, you know, asleep here, and, you know, your flame, your energy, your fire has the potential to kind of reignite their match or candle or lantern. So just know that you're carrying that light. Make sure you're tending your own light or inner flame. It'll really help you feel better. David Curtin. Transformation. I journey within to meet my higher self and to find true happiness. And I kind of like this. It's almost like, I don't want to say the tunnel, right? It's like the tunnel, but it's a little bit like, and I'm kind of obsessed with this idea, but I don't remember it, like Plato's cave, right? Like that's the underworld, but it's the subconscious. And a lot of our reality is actually exploring our inner realities and transmutation of the soul and alchemy and things like that. And so when we're dealing with this energy, the true transformation happens within and going into our inner worlds and things like that, and searching within, because sometimes we're kind of searching in the external, we come up empty and things like that. And I think of the 4D as that tunnel. It's like, it's people describe it as the near death. It is the tunnel. You're in between realities. You're done with the 3D. We know that you're awake, but you're not fully maybe in the 5D. Maybe you are, but you're kind of, maybe sometimes connections or situations kind of have us going back and forth or whatever it is. And then it's like kind of being multi-dimensional on that level too. So you can kind of go between worlds once you've had a spiritual awakening. Sometimes you become very conscious and aware that you are, as you're navigating people and different frequencies and places that you might be traveling and going to. And so this is connecting with your higher self, and that connection with your higher self. So whatever experiences we've had in the past that weren't great, these were, you know, deeper aspects of ourself and our soul we go into, and we go into the darkness, and then we, you know, become the light on so many levels. It has a lot to do with transmutation and cleansing of our energy. And this is why I'm getting like kind of serious about a lot of the planets kind of stuck in karmic cycles and patterns and things like that. So if something happens karmically, it has to be worked off. We call it purified. That's what I'm getting at. So it has to be cleansed and purified, and this can be a process or a cycle attached to it. We don't want to do that anymore. So a lot of your life and process you're going through now is cleansing of the soul. Why clearing energy and healing is so important too, right? To let go of things. And so you've been going through a huge cleansing, clearing, and transmutation process, but it's better connecting you with your higher self. This is also when we deal with throat chakra, I always talk about the 5D and your embodying your higher self at that point. And like, it's a lot of what the Egyptians would teach about going through the lower aspects. And I talked about the lower timelines to make your way to the higher for ascension and becoming your higher self. So we've all seen the lower self. Pull up the Akashic like it's like it's polarized in your life, right? For everyone, this would be your spirit guides. You've died, you've gone to the other side, and they have like a collection of Polaroids that are like terrible about your life that make you look really bad, right? Okay, we've done that, and it's part of the experience, but transmutation to climb up or ascension to these higher timelines and actually becoming who you are. And so we're clearing distortion and, you know, ego beliefs and ways we see ourselves that are not the best. And we've been going through such a process, but you're actually becoming much more yourself now, like who you are now, and you're going to keep going, and you're going to become this divine being and divine version of yourself and this spiritual being, because you know you're no longer having that human experience in the same way. Once you wake up, you're bringing this spiritual down, and you always were this spiritual being, but when you were asleep, you were kind of, we could say, blindfolded from that too. So you're seeing things much clearer, and this is helping you to clear distortion and really become that highest version of yourself. And this is what we're working towards on the spiritual and on the soul level. So transmutation, you're going through a big transformation really fast. Trust me, when you're awake, your friends and family will notice it. And then, I'm not knocking it, but you might feel even a little ahead of people who aren't doing the work because you're falling out of frequency with them. And it's not in a negative thing. I'm done seeing negative energy or whatever. I just see different frequencies, right? Like, okay, and then maybe we'll get more like that, like when you're in the 3D, oh, we like to paint things black and white, but in reality it's just different frequencies. So there isn't any like negative like we think. It's just different frequency. Like, okay, I just don't resonate with that, I'm more comfortable here. And so it's just really aligning with your frequency. So as you're doing the work, it can be normal that you fall out of frequency with those that are choosing not to do the work, and that's fine. And I feel that you'll really come into resonance with those that are doing the work too. And so you're evolving in a soul level. And for those of you guys that are healing and changing yourself and doing better, because life will get you there, and are doing that work, you're gonna begin to come into a higher alignment with yourself, and then you might fall out of frequency with those that are at different levels, and that's okay. So you continue to work on yourself, but you're evolving really, really fast. That's what I'm getting at. You're changing fast. You have the potential to really transform and change into a different version of yourself, and this is what spiritual awakening teaches us or is about. John DeBona, hello. Sacred space. Here's the card again. I find peace, security, and contentment when surrounded by nature's beauty. So I was kind of making light of it, but it's where I'm at. I said I'm going to make a fairy realm and just disappear from the planet. Like, yeah, I know. All right. Yeah, goals, right? So as the planet, everyone's got their lessons, and you're learning to detach a little bit. Like, okay, but making your home or your sacred space or where you're at, making it a sacred space. So your home is like your cocoon. It's literally your protection from the outer reality. And you want it to be a beautiful, peaceful, tranquil space. Doesn't matter where you live, because I'm living, I always make a joke, but I'm going to say it. I'm living in terrible places a lot of the time on earth, but doesn't matter. Just making it like your little bubble and light worker stuff, and just bringing good energy into it. So I'm all for if you got to bring some incense, sage, Palo Santo, but also just making it a beautiful, peaceful place away from the planet and the outside energies, because we know sometimes how they are and things like that. And this could be just bringing some new energy into your home, or making a little, I'm terrible with plants, but I'm gonna make a little fairy garden. I will find a way. Making a little tranquil space, but also this is a nature message too. So we want to bring some nature into places. So maybe bringing a healing to where you are. It doesn't matter where you're at. Like maybe you live in a real city place, get a couple little house plants. Maybe you have a nice yard and doing something with it and making it a little fairy place, right? Or whatever it is. But this is also about just kind of making your home like that. It could be like anything like that, making it a little more zen, whatever it is, but seeing it in that way, that this is your refuge, your space away from the planet. And we need to make sure that our space is calm. And I'm not saying this is for you, but I'm going to put it out there. This is why we see people when they're in not great, whatever, family or home situations or relationships, they tend to not feel good and get sick, we notice. But the opposite is true. And so if we make our house as it should be, a sanctuary and a place that, you know, where we can rest and recharge, because that's where your home is, right? So when you're tired, we also need to kind of ebb and flow. So it needs to be a good space where you can rest and recharge and relax and be in calm energies. You begin to do the opposite and really, really heal and, you know, blossom and bloom and things like that too. Has nothing to do with your zip code or anything like that, just how you're making your space and things like that. So make sure you're always taking care of the energy of your home. Lately, this is going to sound weird, like when you're making little repairs or things where energy leaks in your home. I said they're money leaks. Energy leaks equals money leaks. But when you're doing little things and fixing up, because our houses actually are more conscious than we think, that's another conversation. But when you're kind of like, whatever it is, you know, you had something broken in your house since 1970, try to repair it and it'll kind of shift the frequency of your home too, right? So when our house is kind of falling in and not doing so great, we tend to feel it. But doing little, like, if it's like a home repair, maybe this is your little nudge to clean your garage out or yeah, or whatever it is, right? Or your doorknob's been broken since 1970 and bothering you. Do these little things and it'll also shift the frequency of your house. We should look at our home or apartment or whatever, our home as a actual living being energetically, things like that. So when we begin to take care of our home, whatever it is, even if you're just tidying up more, getting all the dust out of there. I was making a joke, like all of a sudden it was really nice out yesterday and I opened up all my windows and it's like, I'll let the light into your house. By the way, we should be letting, when you can, opening the windows and letting more light and sunlight into our home. It'll help with all those dusty little corners and you'll probably notice them more, not to clean up or whatever it is, but just seeing your home as your sacred space. And this is going to bring a lot of really good vibes into your house and things like that. Like it's like a literal living being, and how you're taking care of your space is very important too, to bringing good energy into your life, or just making it your little cocoon, because sometimes we're needing to, not all the time. These energies are great. We're getting a lot done like never before. But like I said, you're having to find your own flow in life. And there are serious spaces where you're probably gonna, we call it integrate these energies and rest, or what lay around a little bit more as we're navigating the 5D experience too. So just making your house that kind of space too. It could be anything. It could be, maybe you need to bring some nice little meditation statues in there or whatever. I feel it's like our worlds we're creating too, and we can get creative and it should maybe reflect things. I see Curtis, Archangel. Your own path. I follow my own unique path with courage and strength. And so this is the thing too, that we're really having to follow our life on earth is actually a spiritual journey, and it's our soul's journey too. And sometimes, you know, I'll give Earth like a 2-star review. Like it's a hotel, right? You're like, oh, all right. But in reality, your lessons are meant to shape you and help you become a better person. They serve great purpose in our everyday stuff that we go through or we're seeing. We see it's changing us, it's helping us. I know the entire planet's experiencing a spiritual awakening and changing for the better at their soul's evolutionary pace, however that looks for them. So we're also having to navigate out of alignment, and when we shift into a 5D state of consciousness, we can better align and be more what is for us and what isn't. But sometimes we have certain lessons that we have to pass through, and that's okay. But you're showing up differently, you're doing a better job, and you're having more clarity in navigating your spiritual path and what you should be doing, what you should be taking care of. And things ebb and flow, but at least you're getting more clarity of like, I should do this in my life, or I need to take care of this, or this is my next step, or whatever it is, or I'd like to do this, or I should be working on this too. So just continuing for you to navigate your spiritual journey, your life's journey, from a space of intuition. And so this could be also trusting your solar plexus, or just following your intuition on what to do at any given time. And you know, we don't have to know everything 10 steps ahead, because we get a little lost, but as you're going through life, you'll know what to do, and kind of listening to yourself, we'll say. we're gonna do Jamie R. At day's end, rest. I find peace in nature and I rest my body and mind in order to connect to spirit. And sometimes we've been wired up so we don't like to rest or we don't want to. Like you might feel unproductive or like, you know what I mean? But actually what we need at times, not all the time. I'm not saying be a couch potato. I'm using that word a lot, like laying around like a potato lately and not getting anything done because we get stagnant, but also learning how to listen to your body when it says no more. And sometimes that's what I have to learn too, right? It's like you have all these big plans. I got all this stuff, but if your body is screaming, I can't today, like, and you're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, this is where illness and imbalance comes in and things like that too. So also learning to listen to your body and kind of ebb and flow with it too, because we're needing to integrate a lot of these energies and rest is part of it. So maybe finding a good flow and things like that, we learn to make more power moves too, but also for the mind. And so when we get empath burnout, my favorite. Empath spaces of burnout. Empath burnout, and you're not resting and you're working overtime every week, and you know, eventually it could catch up to you and things like that. But also it makes us imbalanced right here. I'm talking about the mind, right? So sometimes when we're peopling a lot and we're doing a lot, it's like your mind keeps going and going and going, and it can create too much overthinking and stuff like that too. When we rest, it helps to heal the nervous system. And I feel I'm having my own challenges in navigating the 5D energies because it might feel like we have more downtime, but this might be a good thing, but we're not used to that when we're coming out of 3D survival mode, and it might feel like we're navigating. Sometimes the energies are really moving and sometimes they've been not moving at all. And so we're needing to ebb and flow with the universal energies and what's coming on. So rest is an important part of healing your nervous system and integrating some of the Ascension upgrades that you might be going through at any given time too. So it could be also getting better rest. And so a lot of times someone in my family, they said, you know, I'm having some sleep problems. I didn't know that was a real thing with the moon, they said. And I'm like, yeah, you never sleep again once you awaken. I'm kidding. Okay, so if you are having sleep problems, bad dreams, someone told me this morning, or navigating this kind of things, I find for myself trying to make time for meditation, and sometimes my day goes a little long and I'm not always having time, but I'm making space to meditate at night, and I find I sleep about 1,000,000 times better. And of course it has, you know, daytime effects and things like that too. So you could always start to do meditation before night, and this helps to calm your mind and things like that. And you'll probably start to have better rest and stuff like that. So it also could be how you're resting and the quality of sleep that you're getting. We're humans, so our subconscious loves to go on autopilot. It means you only had to do something like 3 days and it picks it up and you just start to do it. And this could be a good thing for new habits or whatever, right? So sometimes this is the asleep state. It's like where you're driving to work, and sometimes not to go there, but you might not have really paid attention. You were kind of trancing out, but you ended up there. That's the subconscious taking over. And so this can be helpful when we're trying to reprogram the subconscious for the positive and stuff like that. So sometimes you want to get it in a good rhythm or routine with things, and your subconscious will take over. Like if you have your coffee at every time at a certain time of day, you'll just go for it. Like that with sleep though. So sometimes we need to kind of discharge all the energy that we've picked up all day long, or, you know, our day or whatever it is. If you're trying to get better sleep, this goes for everyone. Maybe going to sleep a little bit earlier and doing meditation will help get you in a better routine with that too. So better rest too. So this could be, depends on how it's resonating. Just take what resonates for your situation. These are just kind of general reads, but if you've been having sleep issues, or maybe just being a little bit tired and lethargic during the day, that happens at times. You know, I saw that a couple days ago. I can always tell with the planet where everyone's at, and then it's zoom in, right? So it's like kind of navigating the ebb and flow of it too. I see Lena, moon goddess. I am in harmonious flow with the moon's energy in all phases of life. And look how that moon shook things up, and you know, can do things like help us release things. It was a full moon, so things might have been coming up, and it could be within us or whatever. So we see powerful effects of different energies in our life. That's just one type of energy, and we're navigating a lot of different types of energies. That's the universe coming through to wake us all up and support us with our awakening, but we want to get good at it and kind of tap into it. I was going to give this person some advice, like, you should be manifesting with it, but I didn't, right? But we should be manifesting with these energies like I talked about today, or even the full moon or the new moon. And we're doing it anyways with our thoughts, just to get a little bit more positive and intentional and put out things. Now, the universe can create for us all day long. We can talk about divinity and divine will, and we definitely want to align with divine will, but we are meant to be co-creators because it must get a little boring. Sorry, right? And we actually switch it up. We're the game changer. And when we actually help with the process, maybe we can create different potentials, get a little bit exciting, right? Whatever it is. So the universe actually wants to create with you. You're creating too, right? As a co-creator, and to align with the universe. So I think we like get the ideas, and the universe has to help us with that a little bit. Like, right? It's like, once again, go back to that 5-year-old, like, Mom, I'd love to do this. You need the mom's help. Well, that's how it is on the universal level. And so the universe wants us to get more aligned with what we do want to create, not continually creating things we don't want and being miserable our whole lives. It wants us to get switched on enough to be like, okay, this is what I do want. This is what I do desire. This would make me happy. This is maybe what I want to experience. And I feel like it's been a long road in us getting switched on so that we can get on that level too. But we're doing it anyways, and so we do want to kind of align or attune to some of these universal energies and use them a little bit better too. So, you know, whether you're making a vision board, I never have, but you could put pictures all over your fridge or somewhere, or just, you know, taking more care with doing the inner work, staying more positive, figuring out what you want. You can use prayer, whatever it is, to really, you know, get aligned on the spiritual level with whatever it is that you're trying to create or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. And you can kind of work with those energies. So much magic when working with the moon. We know that. So the magic's in the air. It's there. Kind of tapping into that, however you're doing that. Okay, I see Tina Simpson. Spirit guides. I open my heart to my guides and trust in the wisdom they share with me. And the amazing thing is, it doesn't matter what country you're in, what religion you grew up in, this is for everyone. We all have spirit guides, and the whole planet's ascending too. That's great with like everyone, right? Okay, it doesn't matter where you're from, what you're into, what you believe, it's happening for all of us. But we also all have spirit guides and angels that work closely with us, and we probably want to bring that energy in and get more help and guidance or more divine assistance or whatever it is. So your spirit guides, they're the ones who are sending you downloads and trying to show you things about your life, and your angels are helping you in many different ways too, preventing disaster or whatever it is. So we have to really follow closely our spiritual guidance that we're getting as it's coming through, because it can really, really help us. And, you know, not taking the wrong path, or, you know, what to do or what to be working through. And they're always there to help us and guide us. And that's how hard Earth is. So we need that help a lot. And they can see things we can't. So sometimes we get very, you know, okay, but they can actually see a lot. They can see other situations, what's coming, you know, maybe taking a better route. It's a little bit like, I don't like calling it your GPS, but it's like me trying to drive around lost with no GPS. That's not going to work out. I put the GPS on, and maybe I took a wrong turn. It's going to reroute you. And so, you know, your spirit guides are always working hard to keep you on track in your life, or to kind of help you through things or through situations. I open my heart to my guides and trust in the wisdom they share with me. And they, unlike people, they're a mixed bag. They always have your best interests at heart. They're going to help you with whatever you got going on, and they're always here to really, really help you. So sometimes we're learning how to anchor in and lean on the spiritual more, and this is like where a lot of you guys have had very profound spiritual experience. Maybe some of you guys have seen your spirit guides or angels in the physical, in dreams. This could be like orbs or even hands-on. It could just be feeling things. I have so many people that tell me very amazing stories of the spiritual, and we call these spiritual experiences. A lot of you guys have had very deep, powerful spiritual experiences to make you to believe and wake up and to show you things or reframe how you're seeing life. Very similar to a lot of people might have just had, you know, a dream that was very spiritual. I was talking about when I was going through my awakening, I was having a lot of out-of-body experiences. We can talk the realm of out-of-body experiences, psychic visions, you know, seeing things. This could be awake or in the dreams, near-death experiences, things that have really woken you up to the spiritual and shown you, by the way, or guided you into the spiritual too. I see that a lot where some people have lost loved ones and they come back for them and play a role in their awakening, or, you know, whatever it is. Spiritual experiences that are very powerful, that have opened your eyes to the spiritual in some type of way. And this could be, you know, many different ways. I see people, you know, go through crazy experiences where they should have died and, you know, they had this stuff happen or whatever it is. So these spiritual experiences that you had are meant to open your eyes to the spiritual, but better connect you to the spirit. Now, we work with our spirit guides on the day-to-day. They can give you a lot of insights, and that's what I say. I obviously connect with the energies, but connect with my own spirit guides. So when I'm doing, we'll say, reading and session work, they're giving me the information. So they can give you a lot of information and insight into your experience that you're learning with someone else, maybe their experience or what's going on too. So we can really connect with our spiritual guides, and they will help you with all areas of your life. It doesn't matter what it is. They're here to help you through Earth, but to help show you what direction to go, a little bit like, you're not sure, you're lost, and you can meditate to connect with them. You can talk to them. You can do that through prayer and making space. And so sometimes, a lot of times we get the information through downloads or being shown something or sensing something. It just depends on how open you are too. So the thing with the spiritual is, I talked about ego being a little bit of a block, because then we have to filter everything through the logic science. So you saw an orb, you definitely saw it, but your ego starts to be like, I don't know, it was just some dust or whatever, or, you got the download, you got the clarity of like, I should do this, and your ego will be like, I don't know, and so we have to filter everything through ego, and so sometimes ego can block things. I see people who like, they had amazing something happen and they've, changed it around or whatever. So the more open we are and the more work that we've done to transcend the ego, we can be more open to the spiritual and get more direct guidance and messages and things like that. And I know that's where we're headed. If you guys aren't there yet, you will be. As you're doing the work, you'll be connecting more and getting more clarity. And so this could be like, on a situation or what to be doing. It could be translating into all areas of your life, like which direction to take, what to be doing, how to get through a situation, what's going on. You're going to get more and more guidance, especially as we always talk about healing things that are blocking that, like trauma, heavy energy, and raising up our vibrational frequency. I feel that at our heaviest, and when we're very weighed down, right, life, that we've all experienced, that coming into a very dense 3D planet from the bottom, we were very disconnected. We call that 3D separation consciousness. And as we do the work to heal these things, we begin to raise our vibrational frequency. Well, the planet is anyway. Welcome to the party. The energy is coming in. So we continue to raise our vibrational frequency. And as we do, we become more angelic. We become lighter. We can better connect with the spiritual realms and the angelic realms and bring that down here into the physical. We clear density from the body and become, better light versions, lighter, I was going to say light being, right? Light being versions of ourselves, and become a lot lighter because we're not carrying all those, dense karma and trauma energies. So the more that we do this work and kind of raise up, you'll look better, you'll become lighter. And I know the density isn't very good for our health and blocks and things like that. We clear all that out. We're here to heal anything going on within you, whether it's disease, karma, heavy energies, things affecting you, whatever it is, and to do this self-work and this spiritual work so that we can ascend, which is to raise up, right, into the spiritual, and then we can exist in that 5D state of consciousness and kind of shift out of that 3D state of consciousness. And as we embody that higher state of consciousness, right, that expansion of consciousness, amazing things start to happen. You'll probably become more psychic, more connected, more tuned in, get more direct guidance or downloads or whatever it is. So lots of good things that activate out of this too. All right, I'm going on that note anyways. I'm around. If you guys, that's what I'm doing the rest of the day. If you guys need healings and activations, so I know I have some good ones up on my site. I left the other Galactic day up too, which is 2 days ago. You can do any of it anyways. If it's in my shop, if you're guided to, I'll be around doing healings and activations the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a beautiful day. Put it out there, how to set intentions, prayer, manifestation work, or whatever it is. If you have heavy energy coming up from the moon, hopefully that's over. But if you do, just stuff you're working through, we're all working through things, just kind of trying to release it and leave it here, whatever it is. Great energies to be tapping into though, like I said, but enjoy the rest of your day. If you need me, you guys always know where to find me anyway on my website. Have a beautiful day. I put some nice stuff up on this page. I've been the past couple of days, things, because I'm better at writing sometimes, right? I know I've been writing some things for you guys. Like if you guys just want to know what's coming up with the energies or what's going on, I did put some nice little posts up on the page just so you guys could see what's going on. Okay, have a beautiful day. Enjoy the upgrades.